Les fans de jeux japonais connaissent bien Nippon-ichi Software America. La filiale occidentale de l'éditeur Nippon-ichi Software a pour activité la localisation de jeux japonais en Occident. L'éditeur prépare beaucoup de sorties sur cette année et pour eux, la France occupe une position particulière dans le territoire européen.
It's interesting because there's so much history of Japanese culture in France, so it's automatically a good thing with our games. You know, we don't have to, of course we have to try hard, but there's also just an element of natural response from our fans here in France. When you go to places like Japan Expo, it's obvious, they're just absolutely in love with the culture. So, yeah, I'd say for our games, the French market might be the biggest one in Europe.
Parmi les sorties que l'éditeur prévoit pour cette année, on avait déjà parlé de God Wars, le tactical RPG de Kadokawa Games. NISA va aussi sortir chez nous Birthday the Beginning, le simulateur de monde imaginé par Wada Yasuhiro, le créateur des Harvest Moon. Il y aura aussi Disgaea 5 qui sortira sur Switch. Et après Genso Rondo, sorti à la fin de l'année dernière, l'éditeur continue sur sa lancée en éditant des jeux Toho avec Genso Wanderer.
All of the games developed by Zune, the creator behind Toho Project in general, are all bullet hell games. PC bullet hell, just straight up bullet hell. A lot of developers in Japan really liked the Toho Project, the IP, the characters, everything about it, and they asked him, hey, I want to make my own game using your characters. Is this cool? And Zune's like, that's fine. Whether or not they're charging, I don't think he even charges them for anything like that, licensing or anything like that. So we got these independent developers who make games in genres that they want, like dungeon crawling RPGs, using the Toho Project license. So that's what Toho Genso Wanderer is. It's not a traditional bullet hell, but there are some bullet hell features within the game, you pick up little peas and bullets and you can shoot bullets and stuff like that, but it is a dungeon crawling.
Derrière Disgaea, la plus grosse licence de Nippon-ichi Software America n'est pas un RPG, mais un visual novel. Il s'agit de Danganronpa, le jeu d'enquête de Spike Chunsoft, où des lycéens doivent tenter de sortir du jeu infernal que leur inflige un ours robot, Monokuma. Danganronpa va bénéficier de la sortie d'une compilation des 2 premiers épisodes sur PS4, et aussi de l'arrivée cette année d'un 3e épisode très attendu.
You know, Danganronpa is a visual novel, which is a genre which has never been particularly popular in the West, both in Europe, I would imagine, as well as North America. And we liked the style of the game. It was very unique compared to other visual novels. Even though it kind of had a precedent in games like Ace Attorney, it was still very unique to itself. I mean, how many games have a crazy robot bear that come out in them? And so we figured, well, you know, there's probably going to be some kind of base of fans out here, so I'm sure that some people will like it, but we never expected it to become as popular as it has. In fact, it's become so popular that we're finally able to do a French localization for the first time for Danganronpa V3, which will be coming out later this year.
This game will have English and Japanese audio. It will have English and French text. It's the first Danganronpa to have French text. We really hope you guys support us and love us because we're doing our best. It's not cheap, and this game, these kinds of games, you know, they have so much text, and it's definitely it's slightly challenging for us to do something like this. But we, just knowing the market out here and how much they enjoy the Japanese culture, we thought we need to offer something like this to them. So. Yeah, we're really hopefully everyone's excited for this one, so.
Danganronpa s'est fait connaître en Occident de manière un peu particulière. Le premier jeu de la série a en effet été présenté par des fans sous la forme d'un let's play. La présentation textuelle ou vidéo des jeux dans leur intégralité, quelque chose qui peut peut-être poser problème aux éditeurs.
Personally, I have no problem with it. I really wish that let's players would be upfront with their users and their fan base about letting them know that, especially for story-based games, that hey, what we're about to do is essentially show you the game. So if you don't want to get spoiled, then maybe don't watch the stream. I just want people to be upfront with that. But other than that, I think it's a really great way for people to get access into the games. I also think that, especially for some games that either never came out in French or in English, or are really obscure in Japan, it's maybe the only way some people will have a chance to see those games. So I think it's a good thing. Specifically for something like Danganronpa, where the whole game is the story, the developers themselves actually put in a measure where you can't stream past a certain chapter. They hard lock that into the game. So that's kind of the other side of that coin.
Dans leur projet pour 2017, NISA a aussi prévu un titre un peu particulier. La sortie du remake de The Silver Case, un des tout premiers jeux de Suda Goichi sur PlayStation, qui n'avait jamais été édité en Occident. Ce remake était sorti sur Windows en automne dernier en édition numérique, mais va ici paraître sur PS4 avec une édition collector et des goodies, une des spécialités de l'éditeur. La démarche est intéressante et elle pourrait être étendue à d'autres titres, des classiques du jeu vidéo.
In terms of like really cool games that should be remastered and brought over because they weren't available back then, I think that's like kind of like an untapped market. There's like, not only because the games are good, but there's just like this nostalgic feel to it that resonates through everybody's blood. Like when you see an older game, you just feel like, oh, I remember that, and that's enough to make you want to buy it again, or like you saw it before, now you have the chance to buy it, so.
And even though you might have an idea like, oh yeah, I mean, people want to play those games again, you know, or they want to play them for the first time because they never got released in a certain territory, you never really know until you hear these people and you get a lot of voices. So all I can say to that is please have fans reach out to us and contact us and say, hey, we'd like to see it happen, we'd like to see you take care of it, and then maybe we can go from there.